One and one is three. Got to be good looking cause you're so hot to see. Come together right now over me. Hey everybody. Here come on flat top. He come grooving up slowly. He's got juju eyeballs. He's one holy roller. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker cause it's so hard to please. Come together right now over me. I woke up with that song. You know how sometimes you wake up with a song? I woke up with that song this morning. Are you familiar with that song? Come Together? Originally done by the Beatles, but Michael Jackson had his own rendition. You know, I can't play music now on Facebook. Did I share this with you guys? You know, the other day I get an email from Mark Zuckerberg. So Zooks writes me and he says, "Look, well, I've noticed over the last couple of months, you know, you play some music on your live broadcasts." And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, you know, you can't do that." And Mark Zuckerberg and his team, they say to me, "Well, you keep playing copyrighted music, guess what? We are going to put a line through your name instead of under it. So what you need to start doing, Mwewa, is either you get your own music or you run the risk of being permanently deleted." How many knows that when Mark Zuckerberg sends you that sort of email, you sort of pay attention to that? Do you know this? Yeah. Tell me in the comments below. Have any of you ever received a note from Mark Zuckerberg, like an email or like a handwritten note that he passes down and somebody sort of brings it to you and says, "Hey, look, this is from Mark." Zooks. I mean, everybody loves Zooks, but when he writes you that letter where he says you've been playing copyrighted music, man, and we're not standing for it, we're not going to have it. You have to pay attention because guess what? When Mark Zuckerberg decides to press the button and he blows you into oblivion and you only become a rumor, guess what? That's not a good thing. Do you know how long it takes to build up an audience on Facebook? Do you have any idea how much work it takes to do this? So this is what I did. I wrote Zuckerberg a note. I said, "Zooks, it'll never happen again. I will never play copyrighted music ever again." You know what Zook says to me? Says, "You better not." Well, he didn't say that, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being with me for a few moments. Please tell me in the comments if I'm loud and clear. The other week, I was on Facebook, and I guarantee you, the broadcast was slightly out of focus because I'm using these DSLRs. You know what a DSLR is? A DSLR is a camera. So I set it up the other day, and it was slightly out of focus. So tell me now and I've adjusted the focus. I think I'm in focus, but I need you to tell me in the comments below. Could somebody please break that down for me? Am I in focus? Tell me in the comments below if I am in focus. Meaning, I'm not blurry. Okay? All right. You are clear and loud enough. Wonderful. I like hearing that. Thank you so much. All right, let's begin. I know many of you, and incidentally, I only have a window of about 15 minutes to do this. So I'm going to, it's going to be in and out. Okay. I'm going to do this 15 minutes and boom, I'm going to be gone. Here it is. Guys, I've got some advice for our former president. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed, to be very frank. This is my advice to former President Lungu. I don't like that President Lungu now is sort of hanging out with Chilufyate Ali. First of all, it was bad enough. Do you know when I noticed the cracks? Is when President Lungu quoted Chilufyate Ali. When President Lungu made reference to Boris Johnson, remember, when the journalists and the members of the Patriotic Front, they went to offer solidarity to the former First Lady and the former president. President Lungu, when addressing that crowd of PF members, you remember he mentioned Boris Johnson. He said that there are certain leaders that lied their way to number 10 Downing Street. 10 Downing Street, as you know, is the official residence and executive office of the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Well, President Lungu made reference to Boris Johnson and said there are certain people that lied their way to 10 Downing Street. The implication there was that our Zambian president did the same. That quote was a direct quote from Chilufyate Ali. And to hear a former head of state, a former president of these amazing provinces of Zambia, to hear a former head of state quote someone like Chilufyate Ali, that's when you know something is wrong. Something is desperately wrong. And my advice to the head of state is, look, you're big time. You've got no time to be hobnobbing with the likes of that guy. If all of a sudden Tayali now is your bedfellow, Mr. President, that's a bad thing. I mean, that's a bad thing. That you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Are you familiar with that term? You're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Your barrel is so empty that you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. You're getting the tiny little remnants that are left at the bottom of the barrel. And when you do that, that is a sign of desperation. Antonio Marinho Mwanza, could you please tell the former president to stay the hell away from Chilufyate Ali? Could you do that? Is that too much to ask? We don't want the former head of state to be hanging out with him. Goodness. Come on. I mean, I've heard of desperation, but that's ridiculous. Come on, let's circle the wagons on this thing. Okay? Now the other thing that I want to say, and I know this is something I think that former presidents struggle with. The late President Kaunda struggled with this when we voted him out back in 1991. A short time after he left, our former president had it in his mind that he could bounce back, and UNIP made a mad dash for State House. Late President Kaunda felt, in his wisdom, he felt that he could possibly bounce back. But it was not meant to be so because the Zambian people had moved on. So I feel that most Zambian presidents struggle with this, especially presidents that have lost power. In the same vein, by the same token, here it is, we have now former President Lungu, who made it abundantly clear that he was going to retire from active politics. That day, when he was addressing that group of supporters, PF supporters, he made reference to the fact that he was still in active politics. Now, by his own admission, he said he was in active politics because he said that, here it is, the current administration are trying or they are attempting to impede his ability to be in active politics. Jose Mourinho, Antonio Mwanza is on record. The other day he was on a radio show and he said, no, President Lungu is not in active politics. So here it is, the president is saying one thing, and my dear friend Antonio Mourinho Mwanza is saying a completely different thing. My advice, my admonition, my caution to the former president is this. Sir, you've had your rodeo. You need to step aside. You need to make sure that the PF convention moves ahead. And we all know you, sir, are the only one that can fund a PF convention. None of those bottom feeders that surround you can manage that. Okay. None of those jokers that surround you can manage that. There is not a single person in the PF that is going to take their hard stolen money to fund a PF convention. Now, notice I didn't say their hard-earned money. No, I said their hard stolen money. There is not a single solitary member of the Patriotic Front that is willing to part with their hard stolen money and invest it in a convention. It's just not going to happen. Are you hearing that? So my advice, truly speaking, is that President Lungu needs to wake up, smell the coffee, and realize that he is no longer the president. And that's the circle of life. That's how it works. Nay, that's how democracy works. You yourself, and I love quoting this. I love quoting this because I remember first time I heard this, and you've heard me say this several times. Many of you have heard me quote this. President Lungu said something back in 2021. I know this because I was there. The PF hired me to cover a convention, a rally over there at the Mulungushi Conference Center. One of the things that President Lungu said was that, and I quote, he said, development has no destination. So every president does his part. You do your bit, as they say in England. You do your bit. When you're done, you move over, somebody else takes over. So far be it from anyone to suggest that President Lungu and President Lungu alone is the bastion of knowledge in the PF, is the bastion of success, is the bastion of winning. No, President Lungu had his time. It's now time for someone else. Move over and select somebody within your party that can carry the baton. And you guys have so many people. There's Miles Sampa. There's I don't mean to sound coy. I really don't know his name. The man with the glasses. There's him. There's Vincent Mwale. There's Doris Celia. My point is, I'm sure you can find somebody in the PF. I mean, goodness, come on, give me a break, okay? And let's leave it at that. Right. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about is, well, last night, I'm scrolling through my the wormhole. I'm doing my wormhole thing. How you're sitting in your couch or on your couch at home, you're watching television, you've got your phone in your hand, and I'm scrolling through and I get this notification. Somebody tags me, and I tap the tag or whatever it is you call it, and I go to this page. I honestly, really, I didn't realize that I'd gone to Kidist's page because somebody tagged me. So, I tapped the tag and boom, I'm there. And it was a photograph of Kidist and Kalenga from that Z podcast. So my comment was, "Oh, great! This is good. I'm glad that she's finally agreed, possibly to be on that show." Now, let me say something here also that's very important, because I know a lot of you kept on saying, "No, perhaps their figure idea it was because they wanted to say no. It was their way of ukukana." Let me explain something to you guys. Nobody is obligated to do anything. If someone asks you, if someone invites you to an interview and you don't want to go, guess what? All you do is say, "Thank you, but no thanks." Boom. You put a full stop. You put a period after that sentence. No, thank you. Thank you, but no thanks. There's no reason to go around and start riding rodeos and tiptoeing through the tulips and going to the moon and back. And no, that's a waste of time. Nobody has time to do that. Anyway, so here it is. When I went to the when I went to the tag, I'm not even sure if that's how you say it, because I know Facebook, somebody's going to say, "No, well, it's not called a tag." Whatever it is. Somebody tagged me. I tapped, I went to this page. I didn't even know it was Kidist's page. So I see this photograph of Kidist sitting with Kalenga, and that's what I commented. I said, "Oh, well, I guess Kidist has changed her mind, and we're looking forward to this show if they do agree." I said something to that effect. Well, guess what? Boom. Kidist immediately responds. And guess what she said to me? This is the word she used. She said, "Fusekeni." First of all, let me explain something to you guys. You see, you guys seem to think that people in my category are not allowed to participate in any topic that has to do with cyberspace and vlogging, social media, ethics, and the ethos of how we should conduct ourselves on social media. We are better placed to talk about these things because we've been on social media for a long time. And also we have the advantage and the benefit of age. We do. I've seen more suns rise than you. I have. I've been down more roads than you. I've had more experiences than you. So I am better placed, more than anybody. I'm better placed to advise you, especially you kids. I'm better placed to advise you. So when I give you this advice, and it's coming from a pure place, because God knows I love Yo Maps. I love him. I call him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I still believe that. I think he's amazing. But here it is. When we give you advice, when we see you going down the wrong road, there's nothing wrong with me giving you advice. Now, when you respond like this, iwe wemwaiche uleva ini ati fusekeni ine uleva ini ati fusekeni aba nove kutuwa bebe fyoye aba nove ama age mates yowe kutuwa bebe ati fusekeni ba nove, they're your peers. No mbaba kalamba nga bakuchita advice bakupera muchibemba tulanda ati advice muchisungu ni advice umukalamba nga akupela advice. When someone older than you gives you some advice, embrace it. Don't respond like this. Fusekeni. But it now, the response I usually get when I say things like that, someone will always jump on and say, "But Mr. Mwera, if you respect someone, they also respect you." That's not being disrespectful. When I say what I say, it's not being disrespectful. It's not. Why? Because I'm older than you. So this is the wrong way to respond. And also, this response from Kidist really pulls back the curtains. It really gives me an insight into who she is. It really does. Just from this one response tells me exactly who she is. Don't do that. That's not a good thing. Nay, that's a bad thing. Okay? And take it from me to you, this is bad. Not good. All righty. Let me give you some. It's the same as, yeah, you guys got a lot to say. Well, hey guys, I thought I'd share those two things with you. I can't come to you with any music, I can't do any outros because Mark Zuckerberg has warned me that you keep playing copyrighted music. And if you keep doing that, well, guess what? Boom, we're going to put a line through your name instead of under it. Do you know the agony of losing a Facebook page? Ah, why not? You need therapy. Anyway, all right. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you guys. Enjoy. Bye.